Hi everybody again. Today we'll continue our series on business presentation skills. Today's lesson 2, and as you know, I'm Bob Williams. Now first we're going to start out by talking a little bit about the structure of a presentation. Now generally for an introduction, what you want to do is you want to tell people what you're going to tell them. Then you want to tell them that information. And finally you want to wrap it up with a conclusion that tells them again what you've told them already. Now there's 5 key techniques when you start a presentation to try and kind of develop a hook and draw in the listener's interest. Does anyone have any ideas or maybe see any ones here that they've used before?
Yes.
Yes, Sarah?
I remember we can tell the people some interesting fact, for example, some numbers or some interesting news. And the personal story. And probably I can share some my personal information, my personal experience.
Absolutely, those are very good examples. We can also ask like a challenging rhetorical question. As you said, we could talk about some interesting facts or numbers. We can talk about relevant quotation from literature or a shared history that might be the same between the presenter and the audience. Or, like you said, a personal story, or even share an expert opinion. That works as well. Now, in the first few minutes of a presentation, there's a few things that you might want to be aware of. One of those is negative body language. Now, I wonder, does anyone have an idea of an example of negative body language that they'd like to share with the class? Yeah, sure, Sarah, come on up.
I think the native body language is just like this. For example, it makes the people feel I'm not easy to go in. Yeah.
Kind of like you're hiding a little bit from people.
Yes. Or something like if I do the things just like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of taking a power position.
Yes. This is what I think.
Okay. And I've seen before, some people, they might take that power position and start wagging the finger, which is actually related to our third point here, which is being an overbearing expert. You need to listen to me, I'm a professional. That sort of idea.
Okay.
All right, thanks very much, Sarah. You can have a seat. Now, some other things that we need to think about as well, and you might have heard this before in other presentations, something like an unfunny joke. Who's heard of an unfunny joke before? Oh, yes? John?
I'm cool.
Well, thank you. I know. Thanks for sharing. All right, and we've already talked about an overbearing expert. So let's move on to another part of presentation, which is using visual aids. Now, there's a couple reasons that you might want to use visual aids in your presentation. One would be to save words. You can say something more powerfully using pictures. You might have heard the expression, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And often, the impact from an image can be more powerful than the impact from words alone. Now, we can see on the screen here some different types of visual aids. I wonder who has used some of these visual aids before, and what aids did you use? Yes, Sarah.
Okay, I like to use some photograph or drawing to highlight the topic I want to share. Also the table or the chart. Yeah, I will use these materials.
And why would you choose to use a table or a chart instead of using a photograph or a drawing?
I think this image can give people the important information, and I can save more words. Yeah, this information could make the listener to understand the information quickly.
Actually, that makes great sense. Now, I wonder who here has used keywords as a visual aid before? Yeah, okay. Who here has used video before as a visual aid? Oh, this is interesting because actually I have just heard about a technology that is fantastic as a video technology aid. You might have heard about it. It's made by AREC Technologies. Now, next time, we'll be talking about putting all that we've learned into practice. So remember, get your presentation ready for next week, and I'll see you next Wednesday.